sweet, so won't you come with me? There's oh so much to show in this grimdark distillery. So if you like bullshit or want some hobby tips, this nightmare priest nigh and binary world magnificent welcomes you. Hello, my sweets. I'm so sorry. I had to cough midway through. Good morning, Mowgli. Good morning, Possum. Hi. Good to see you all. All right, so I'm hoping today we can actually wrap up this whole grief thing. Going to be doing lots of filling and sculpting. Just the last little bits. Oh boy. Took a little bit longer to get here than I thought it would, but ain't that just the way? Seems like it is, at least. Alrighty, so we're going to put that right in there. Got a tear running down my face. There we go. This guy thinks he's getting over his grief today, right on time. What do you mean? We're trying to get it done. So I thought I could get over grief in just a day or two. Joke's on me. But I don't know. I'm thinking we're gonna make a good amount of progress today. I'd like to think that anyway. I need to believe that. Come on, griefy. Let's see. That tooth is gonna need some over here. Pretty much just putting in epoxy sculpting spots where I know I'm going to need to put a good amount of sculpting clay down in order to not have to go through all of my epoxy green. Come on. Hands, do the thing. Sometimes they just don't want to. Alrighty. Hopefully everyone is having a good morning. I'm grinding flour for joints today. Respirator for 8 hours. Yay! Yay, respirator! Well, on a positive note, well, I don't know. I guess you kind of have to wear the respirator. Otherwise, it's probably not very safe. You're probably doing that on the level that it's just like, yeah, probably not good to breathe that in. I'm gonna have to blow my nose. I am so sorry. Can I mute this? Aha, all right, there we go. Didn't have to deafen you guys with my nose. A good nose deafening. PPE is very important. Yeah, they only recorded death in the marijuana industry as someone who made pre-rolls. He got too much in his lungs. Not here though. Holy shit, that's a thing? Like you can actually die from that? Well, now that I'm afraid of that. Like how much do you have to get in your lungs to die? Also, good morning, Roz. Wonderful to see you. Good to have you. Good to have you. Arg. Putting things in your lungs is bad. Yeah, that is true. That is true. How much did he put in his lungs to die, though? That seems like a lot. It would seem like a crazy amount. But don't forget developing an oil allergy. I've heard common on the farms. Oh man, yep, called Keeflung, and I'm sure he ignored health signs. Shit. Man, that's crazy. Good night, Vietnam. Yeah, that'll do it. Man, that sucks. I did not think. Well, I mean, yeah, I guess If you inhale too much of anything, it could kill you. But man, just when I thought it was safe to go back in the water, weed shark. Dun dun dun. It also has like the Terminator 2 music, whatever the trailer for Weed Shark is. He don't care. He eat you and your brother. He's Weed Shark. Okay, come on. Do I need? Yeah, I do need some there. Well, I definitely learned something new today. You can die from weed. Huh. That's horrifying information. There's so much plant material flying through the air. We also have 3 air purifiers. Yeah. Hello, Fun. 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 I need to write that down. I'm not gonna keep getting it wrong. Good morning. Yeah, there's so much plant material flying through the air. We also have, that's nuts. Yeah, that makes sense. I mean, it makes sense. I guess that all checks out. It's just like, man, I didn't see that coming. Hey yo. Let's see. There's a bunch of Margot hairs stuck down in here, but those will probably get taken care of when we go to paint this sumbitch. I reckon. I'm gonna put, nope, no epoxy there. Maybe over here though. Gonna even out these little weird worm things. Tendrils, if you will. Tendrils is a better term than worm things. I can imagine everyone at the powder factory, everything at the powder factory was coated in powder. I would bet, yeah. No, I mean all that tracks, man. Well, now that I'm afraid of dying from weed. Now I'm sure it's not on a level that it's very achievable by most people. I'd say you probably would have to be at the place where it's made. My time at Michael's gave me the glitter lung. I was gonna say, man, I bet like Michael's and like shit, what's the other one? Kirkland's. Kirkland's with all the fragrance, all the old lady perfume. I feel like that's a thing. That's got to be a thing, right? The perfume lung. All I have to worry about is the grief lung right now. Got so much grief. But we are really getting close. Honestly, like I said, oh, maybe today, but actually maybe today. Because this is going pretty quick. I think I just needed to be asleep for a little bit. Wake up my imagination tanks. Or reboot my imagination tanks. That's probably better phrase. Not wake them up. Wake up! That's heavy metals in your lungs. Oh boy, the cross section on that autopsy has got to be rave material. Oh yeah, I would think it would be nuts. I would think it would have to be. It's gotta be. Over here maybe. That guy. What? He's not even glued down. What are we even doing here? Nighttime, Eli, what have you been up to? What are you doing? Do we want the eyeball there though, or should it go a little bit? I think it should actually go a little bit further this way. In fact, I see some super glue as though it was there, and it came undone. Heavy metals in your lungs. Yeah, glitter, man. Glitter would be pretty gnarly. Come on. Do the thing. Oh, oh. little spritz. Just a little spritz. Joke's on all of you. This is an ASMR channel. It's okay. I breathe in concrete dust now, so I'm locking it in all there for good. You got to make sure that you use something, that you breathe something in to like counter it all. Yeah, awesome. I think you're onto something there. If we can just figure out, we can't fix that, but what if we counter it with something else? Maybe that would work. You're going to want to have those lungs just full of concrete. That's awful. It was good knowing you. Rip. I've got literal heavy metals now. That's gnarly. Or, well, maybe not heavy. They're in there, though. Man, so wait, is glitter made out of metal? I guess that kind of makes sense. I just realized, is that all that is in metal, like paint? Is that just glitter? No. Is steel not a heavy metal? I don't truly know. Glitter is usually plastic. Okay, so that's what I was thinking. I was thinking that glitter would be plastic. We all have enough plastic in our brains to make a spoon. That also makes sense. And I would believe that fact. I want my lungs to be like a long-term mold. They can pull it out and it has inclusions. Ooh, I used to work with wood and sawdust. Oh yeah, that I know all about. Wood and sawdust. Sawdust can just straight up kill you. That shit, it gets in everything. It's a wood lathe. So I have a wood lathe in my garage that is made, I mean, it's a old school DIY, like, I'm probably guessing 50s wood lathe that Kelly's grandfather made with a kit that you could order from Sears at one point in time. But it uses I want to say a GE dishwasher motor. But that thing, when he gave it to me, it looked like it had never been cleaned in his entire life. It was so full. The motor was so full of sawdust and like gunk that it was just like, oh my Lord. Like, how did this thing not catch on fire at some point in time? It was one of the biggest fire hazards I've ever seen. Nothing compares to Death Circuit, though, which was one of the pivotal reasons that I rewired my house. But when we first moved in, there was one circuit, and I don't understand. At this point, I don't understand how the wire did not melt. But there was one circuit. It was a 15 amp circuit, and it went out of the panel. It went upstairs. It went to the refrigerator and the microwave, and then it came back down. It got all the outlets in the basement, and then it went across the basement. Oh yeah, it also got all the lights, and then it went across to the dryer and the sump pump, and it never flipped. And what that means is that someone modified that breaker, because the amount of things that should trip a 15 amp breaker in that, oh, I forgot, it also went upstairs, and it was all the outlets in our bedroom. Like, it was like half the damn house on a single 15 amp breaker. Yeah, what the fuck? Like, that is one of those things where at one point in time, like my former mentor was just like, engineering is not always about numbers. And it's just like, this is the one time that I'm like, I think that might be right, because numerically speaking, that wire should have melted. Like, the amount of electricity flowing through there that was not supposed to be able to, yeah, it was fucked. It was very, yeah, so I called it Death Circuit. They just super glued it in the on position. Yeah, like, you could flip it on and off. Like, I don't know if it was, maybe it was just the breaker was not in there, the machine spirit holding everything together. Yeah, like, essentially, whoever did the initial, like, rights was a archimagos to be contended with. Like, give old Belisarius call a run for their money on how much they understand the religion of the machine. From the moment I understood the weakness of my flesh, it disgusted me. Or it sickened me. That's it. The intro to the game Mechanicus is so fucking rad. I love the Mechanicum. A little Warhammer yapping there for you. Man, we actually are making a lot of progress today. And I think last night I was just too like, oh man, I'm sleepy. I'm a big old sleepy baby. But this morning I'm like, man, we can do this today. We can finish Grief. I'm feeling good. I'm feeling good. In the neighborhood. Feeling good in my neighborhood. I don't know what I mean by that. Well, I guess I'm still in my neighborhood. I'm in my basement. There we go. Yeah. Evening, Eli. Sorry, not to catch a stream. I was also a sleepy baby. Oh, no, you're good. You're good. My company occasionally have priests to come over to bless the server, lol. Tech folks are really spiritual sometimes. Just Evening Eli was praising the work Morning Eli accomplished. Really? I find that hard to believe, but that's not typically how we do things. Typically, it's a very hate-hate relationship. Often Evening Eli likes to do extremely dangerous things and let me find them. One of the most memorable, for me at least, was finding every one of my clamps, my wood clamps. I cannot stress enough how many fucking wood clamps this is. And I put a picture of it in the Discord at one point in time under my body as a temple. How much do you think I can get for it? Channel. But yeah, 20 plus something clamps all on one stool. And it was like, it clearly took a long time because, I mean, they should not have fit. They should not have fit. It was very clearly, it was well thought through. I will give them that. But was very, very not safe. And pretty much it was so heavy that I could not even pick the stool up. That's how many clamps were on this thing. So yeah, we don't typically get along well. One of us really likes to get stuff done, and the other is just like, let's hope for the best. Morning Eli is the child inverted. Evening Eli is King Piss, aka Grief. It's very, very clear to me. I know who I am. Just a crazy person. Okay, that looks like it's a little wiggly here. LMAO SPD. Oh, it was a stool, not a clamp holder. Yeah, no, it was a stool, like a wooden stool. I can show you the stool, or one of them. And I mean every single, there was not a single spot that you could put anything on this stool. Like, I mean the sides. Yeah, it was just a stool like this. Just a black stool. And the clamps were on every single level. It was like a pagoda of clamps. And then the top was just, it was obscene. But easily like 100-something plus pounds of just clamps. And these are the kind that like are bar clamps. Like you have a large steel, like it was so unsafe. JJ, good morning. Good to have you, good to have you. Yeah, they are the bar kind of clamps, like the old Bessie clamps that I got from Kelly's grandpa. But like, actually, no, they're Pony. They're like, I think Pony or Bessie, whichever one is the old clamps that are like dope as hell and made from like real fucking steel. Maybe even Eli needed a weapon. I think not. I think it was just a, oh yeah, I need to clean these up. Morning, Eli, I'll have to deal with this. evening Eli did the fun part. And then morning Eli got to take them all apart while being very scared the entire time that it was going to fall and hit me. And then eventually I carried them all up to the attic to store them because I don't really have a need for lots of wood clamps at the moment. I know this is hard to believe, but I'm pretty prone to picking up new hobbies, and woodworking was definitely one of those. But I eventually, with all things, will hit a point that I'm like, I don't really have the time to learn this whole new thing. I would rather get better at learning the thing that I already know, which is why I no longer own a mandolin. I once, Eli is Fune's GF confirmed. Oh, your name is Eli. That's cool, like my GF. I don't think so, but I can't confirm nor deny if I am Fune's girlfriend. I don't feel like I am. I think I would know by now. I would know how to pronounce the name every time with certainty. I think if I was, it wouldn't be like or maybe that's an act. Who's to say? Man, I'm really hoping that this green stuff is still good. Uh-oh. The Grebo finished what it was doing. What are you doing, Grebo? Classic. I really like Evening Eli knows. I'll have to ask him. He'll be like, I can't confirm nor deny. I like to leave myself notes sometimes. And in the morning, I get to figure out what the hell they mean. And by sometimes, I mean quite often. I'm not saying that I'm a very firmly sound psychologically individual. I'm just saying I'm pretty fun. Everyone, even longtime friends, have trouble saying my name, LOL. Most people call me Star usually. Star, okay. That's a lot easier. Is that, is there a preferred, do you have a preferred name? Green stuff, even when wrapped tight, goes bunk fast. It's their master plan. It is the master plan. I do like the green stuff. Alrighty, gonna put some eyelids on these eyeballs. Yeah, this stuff might be a little too firm, but I did not properly, well, I mean, I did properly store it. I didn't put it in the freezer until it had already been out sitting for a hot minute while we were trying to work on everything. So I can't be too upset. I remember that at least. Yeah. Evening Eli was praising morning Eli's work. Oh, man. I find that hard to believe. But I do, in the off chance that that is correct, I do appreciate it. Also, I appreciate everybody hanging out last night. And if you were not able to make it, no worries at all. Everybody's got stuff going on. I get it. I just try to do the evening hang at least once a week. That way anybody that is, got work or whatnot who can't hang out in the mornings has like a little outlet. They can come, just chill, hang out, talk about nerd stuff or crazy shit. Often it's a lot of the later. The evening hobby hang. A little bit looser, a little bit more gooser. So I got my resin printers back up and working. That's exciting news. JJ is easy to say, but my friends usually call me an asshole. I get it. No need to, you don't gotta be like, if they don't like it, they can leave. You know what I mean? Just don't be mean. Well, you can be mean in a nice way. jokingly mean? I'm not telling people how to live their lives. I'm just talking. I'm just yapping. What the hell do I know? Also, I'm really excited that I'm on the other side of the world, so your stream is usually a way to wind down before I sleep. Oh, hell yeah. If you like cool shit or want some hobby tips. Yeah, exactly. So if you like or want some hobby tips, this Nightmare Priest nigh unbinary world magnificent welcomes you. I'm hoping this weekend to film the little like trailer teaser for the Grimdark Distillery that I've been planning. That is what I've made the Vemmet Hemmet for, little cosplay, little Vemmet cosplay, which I don't know if I've talked about that. Oh, talking about resin printing. I tried it for the first time printing in Primaris Captain for the first time. I did not know you're supposed to do it with a mask and in a well-ventilated room. Oh yeah. Yeah, that will definitely, that'll definitely cause some issues if you are not familiar with that. Which, yeah, there's all kinds of things that I feel like resin printing, especially. FDM has been around long enough, and it's just typically safer. There are a few, or at least under my understanding, I don't think many printers have the ability to print the really toxic shit that are not already enclosed, unless they've been modified. Now, I don't know dick about like Enders or cancel, what the hell am I doing? I don't know anything about like the Ender 3 or any of that brand. Like my entire FDM experience was with an Elegoo Neptune, and I found it very frustrating, and eventually just stopped using it to the point that even things that like I needed, I would just pay someone on Etsy to print for me because it was not worth the hassle for me, because it is just an entirely different type of printing than resin. But I started with resin. How many recorded deaths in hobby? Thankfully, my friend managed to pull my dumbass out just time. Hell yeah, hobby. Only triggered my asthma and hopefully nothing else. Yeah, that's good. Like resin can f you up. I don't know. As far as like accidental, like, oh man, I was just working on stuff and then whoop, I fucked up and died. Probably it would be very hard to track. I don't know how, because I'm sure it would be like asphyxiation or now, anything grisly like involving like sharp tools. I don't know. Also, I feel like it would be very hard to find out. It's typically, you only really hear about when like, oh man, I hurt myself really bad while working on blank, like me. I do that often. But typically, when I hurt myself, it's just like, I should have gotten stitches, but not today. Not today. I actually, yesterday, I'll show you what FDM isn't terrible with PLA and PETG. Yeah. ABS is where you start getting really, really not good. ABS and CF. CF, what is this? Does it say? Yeah, PLA-CF. So PLA-CF is, you can't really see too well in there, but it's, I'll adjust it so you can though. I've not opened this, that's why it's definitely harder to see. But you can see, I believe you can probably see from there, the texture on that is wild. It's very, very, very rough. And then this is ABS, which this has not even been opened. I don't know where you can go. I've not printed anything in ABS. Nope, it is open. And it's pumpkin orange. So this is ABS, and it's much, much smoother. It looks just like PLA almost, but probably more dense color. I'm also very used to only printing in like gray Anytime there's like color, it's like from when I was like, I'm not really going to use that, and I'm out of PLA. I need to keep the thing going. But CF, that would be PLA that is laced. It is infused with carbon fiber, so it's the kind of stuff you could print a gun with, and that just comes with the printer, which is a very strange choice on their part. I will say that. I'm excited that it's like that's an expensive starter material for them to include with the printer. When I got Grebo, it came with that. When I got Greblin, it came with 2 things of just PLA, which I would have rather had, but I'm not gonna, eventually maybe I'll print something cool with that. Who's to say? I think you's to say. Come on. I'm hoping that this green stuff is not too... I'm getting the impression, though, that it might be a little bit too dry already. But we'll make it work. Yeah, I started my 3D printing with resin. So, and it's just because all of the stuff that I typically was printing was miniatures. And I learned a whole lot of that through trial and error. But one of the biggest things that I would say is make sure that, yeah, you're well ventilated. Make sure you wear gloves. Make sure if you hollow anything out at all, put holes in it so it will drain. Because if you don't, you may think that you're saving resin. You're not. You're actually using way more resin because where it's hollowed will just be full with liquid resin, which liquid resin it can hold more liquid resin than it can hold physical resin, just because of liquid being a different kind of weight, that kind of thing. Once it fills up, it. Anywho, on top of that, the worst part is if it ever breaks, if you ever drop that, then you now have liquid resin pouring out. Also, it can bleed, it can leach through over time if it's like a very thin hollowing job. But FDM is usually better for large things, yeah. I think most folks tell me it's not worth it to print FDM with small minis, which is what I usually put. Yeah, resin is what you want to use for miniatures. FDM I use almost exclusively for terrain. All of the terrain that I've, like all of this, everything that I printed for 1490, all of that is FDM. My Zone Mortalis boards, I printed so much shit in FDM. Trying to think. I wish I could pick up the apps and bring it over there. The final part just finished from Greblin, which I can show you that. It's not too much to show off, but just a little boop. This is how the green stuff gets hard in DLI. Arg. Yeah, that's the final piece of the apps that I had to print out. It goes in between the very top floor and the bottom. I'm just going to put that over there real quick. What the piss? Okay, there we go. Yay, the apps is done. Okay, apps is printed, which I think at this point we have very, very, very little left of the cathedral that is done. I think Bartos has to finish doing a few more things on his end. But okay, we're going to put some green stuff down there because it's still pretty open. And then we can make the hole. There we go. Blend. Yeah, that green stuff is too hard. It's getting too hard. So we're going to use it very willy-nilly. No need to try and be Ooh, I gotta use that just for detail stuff because I'm gonna have to probably go in with detail stuff afterwards. Come here, you. FT images, that part of your sleeper agent situation. Yeah. PSA, carbon fiber filament will degrade and leave carbon fiber everywhere if you use it for something functional. Fuck. Okay, thank you, Roz. Guys, he gave me a water bowl for promoting stream. If you like it, I might be able to eat from a bowl too. Please, I would like a bowl. You gotta do a little more than that. Nah, I'm just kidding. I appreciate all the support and all the promotion. More people keep finding their way to my little corner, and that's I like the word of mouth, very grassroots, you know. I don't want to insist upon myself. I like people just finding it and being like, hey, this is a good thing, I like it. Sometimes you just need to watch somebody work on some spoopy stuff and maybe talk about some heavy stuff and also talk about silly stuff, you know? And I really appreciate you saying last night, Mowgli, that it's been very helpful. That is helpful to me, knowing that I'm using my time to make a difference in people's lives, because for so long I felt like my time was utterly just wasted. So I just want to change that. Okay. I'm going to put a couple little indentions in there using this little pokey tool. Which when Dark was talking about using a needle the other day, I didn't even think about like, oh, I do that all the time, but I use the poker. Das Poker. Do you have a P.O. box? I want to see a little Mowgli you can put in your closet. I don't. I guess I should get one though. Quick, everyone, like the stream so Mowgli can eat. That's sad. Oh man. That's Grizzly. To shreds, you say? How's the missus holding up? Oh, to shreds, you say? Okay, we're going to push that down in between that little stick. As best as we can, but it's kind of difficult. Yeah, I guess I need to get a P.O. box. I don't know how that works. I've never messed around with no P.O. boxes. But I feel like that would be helpful. People do like to mail me things. Would make me look a little more professional, probably. He feeds me, guys, just on the floor. I just want a bowl. Just recently stopped pouring water on the floor. Well, it's good to know he's nice enough to feed you. Oh, man. I know this isn't real, but I'm also just like, oh, that's awful. But I can play in the space. I was going to say, I wonder how long it would take for the joke to get to the point that I'm like, man, I don't know if I can hang with that. Not very long. I'm very confident that I have made the community that can equally make me upset, and I'm proud of that. I've become the change that I wanted to see in the world. I need people to get a lot weirder. I think that'll help. My mom said that I had that effect on people. Given the coworkers that I have worked with over the years and how they all started out as normal people, and then by the end, they were some of the strangest people I've ever met. I think she might have a point. I think I do make people feel very comfortable to just be as weird as they want, because they know that I'm not judging, because I'm fucking weird as hell too. Yeah, this is getting good. All these little eyes are definitely going to take some time, but they are going to look really good. Really, really good. Dang, monthly fee. What if you don't get sent anything? Yeah, that's a thing. Uh, Of course, he's not heartless, just strict. That's the price for a private box. That is true. A private box. A post office box. Private box. A secret box. What if it's a really embarrassing picture of me from the Christmas party? Well, what if Patrick's a deranged lunatic who keeps his victims' severed heads in a box? Or worse. Yeah. All right, I'm done quoting SpongeBob for right now. Well, Mowgli, it's like rent. Your landlord doesn't care if you were on vacation and not in the apartment. That is very true. It's like, well, you should have been doing more. You're living in the house or in the apartment. Yeah, that makes sense. So it's just like until people start sending me stuff all the time. Dispay. I've already helped you make some money. Just be my friend. I don't even want, like, that's the thing, is it's just like, what do I want out of these things? It's just like, I just want the, hey, yeah, we like this guy. He's our friend. It's not even like, I mean, I would appreciate any kind of like, hey, any kind of support, but just an acknowledgement. That's what I value that. Like, hey, we like this guy. He makes crazy shit. And also, he knows good shit when he sees it. And I'm like, yeah, baby. Pushing green stuff in. Gotta make a little hole for this little thing to come out of. Oh yeah, there we go. Just a bunch of weird little mouth kind of things. These little tendrils are just worming their way out of. Oh boy. Kelly showed me a pretty dope thing last night. It was a mantis that was frozen in amber. It was like 30, I want to say 30 million years old. And she's like, man, look at that guy. She was like, it's wild how he just looks kind of like a mantis. And she's like, he does. Pretty cool. Just dox yourself, bro. Yeah. I'm afraid of that. Not from any of you, but I can't stress. I live in an area where, like, I legitimately have to worry about being burned at the stake. And that sucks. That sucks a lot. Just because there's a lot of people that would look at anything I make and would be like, he's the devil. He's here to do devil shit. I'm just like, dude, if you would take a second to think about or listen to anything I said, you would know that that's probably not the case. And I'm probably a pretty alright person. I'm trying to do my best. I'm trying to help out. But that's not typically how that situation works. And then I get burned. For clarity, do not dox yourselves. The internet is getting serious. Yeah. I'll make sure he gets his money's worth of that P.O. box. Oh, Lord. I'll send him pieces of a map thing put together. Oh, that's fucking rad as shit, Mowgli. Ah, fuck. Okay, well, I mean, again, my public knows the kind of person that I am. Quests? Yes. Yes. I like to think of myself kind of like a wizard. I like to be aid in esoteric things, concepts. It's like in Warhammer, or really any kind of like witchcraft. It's just like, oh yeah, you're gonna need blank, 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 blank. It's just a bunch of weird shit that you're like, I don't think that that's anything. And also, what do you mean tears from a grandma? Just grandma tears? Like that is one of the ingredients for what you're making? Yes. I need the grandma tears. Just like, well, okay. I got a grandma. It'd be hard to get those tears though. She gave them all to a witch doctor already. There we go. Everybody said, you're never going to be able to put an eyelid on that eyeball, not with grief right there. And I said, you're probably right. But I was wrong, and so were they. Ha ha ha. Joke's on them. Joke's on you, Dad. That's how you'll get your mini of Mowgli handcrafted. I've never made it. That is fun. That is fun. I will look into that. I will look into a P.O. box. I'll see what we can do with that. Send it to RedWetSkeleton at P.O. Box. Beep boop bop beep boop. That would be where the numbers would go. Get in there. Yeah, this green stuff is definitely on the verge of being too hard. Definitely let it sit too long last night before I tried to freeze it. Very much just sticking to stuff. And very firm. Yeah, might not even be viable. Why is that not sticking? We're just gonna have to brute force it. Or make more green stuff. But I'm gonna try the brute force method first. That seems right. But it feels pretty damn wrong, I gotta say. It feels pretty damn wrong. Because it doesn't seem to be working at all. Get in there. Ha! I did it. Yeah, this green stuff is not going to be used for any detail work. We're just going to start filling stuff because it's just too damn firm. It's not sticking right. But I needed to fill some things in. And I already used all the epoxy sculpt I made, so. Yeah, there we go. Just a little bit more in between there. We'll do this one. Come on. Greeblin is really wiggling over there. Just try to go thunk. Just like, what are you doing, buddy? Says, I'm printing a bunch of wooden benches. Wooden benches, eh? Pews, as they often call them. But not always. Ah, the light's turned on. Oh, let's see. So not having a 3D printer, how would you recommend a beginner to make a mini? Clay? Oh, yeah. epoxy sculpt is absolutely my favorite. If you were like, hey, I wanted a clay that I was going to try to sculpt something with, epoxy sculpt would be my go-to. Or trash, any kind of weird little bits and bobs. I made, I think I've shown it, the Corpse Wake 2, but in the event that I haven't, I made this out of a peanut jar because I ate a lot of peanuts. Hey, I ate a lot of peanuts. So I made this out of a, oh, sorry, grief, a peanut jar and yard sale signs and 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, like maybe 10 different little pieces of plastic tubing. Well, technically that came from a model kit, and so did these, but peanut jar. I use peanut jars for a lot, and also I eat a lot of peanuts. Gotta tell you, getting sick the other night though. I thought I would be off of peanuts for a little bit. Scabs. I can find it at a Hobby Lobby. I don't know if you could find epoxy sculpt at a Hobby Lobby. I know you could find Milliput. Milliput is at Hobby Lobby. But maybe epoxy sculpt. I don't know. I'm not sure. I've never seen it in the one that I have in my town. But 10-minute bake, BRB. Hell yeah. Hell yeah. 10-minute bake. Bake for 10 minutes. Yeah, this green stuff is too firm. So we were going to make some more as soon as I finish putting this stuff out. And then we'll get to do some proper detailing. But until then, I'm going to get by with what I got here. Honestly, it's not doing too bad for certain stuff. It's just very firm. Is it? Wow. Push it in around the teeth, teeth. Keep pushing on the teeth, teeth. Honestly, I'm pretty surprised that I'm able to get to all these spots, even with grief being there, because I definitely thought that it would be a little bit more difficult. It's not easy, but it's definitely not as hard as I had expected. Reaching all these little angles at least. Man, this is going to be fun to paint. I'm actually excited to paint this one. I'm not often excited to do the painting. Yeah, this stuff it's on its last legs. Remember, kids, Hobby Lobby is terrible and won't miss the Milliput you might find in your pocket. Exactly. And they also, I mean, I don't know about, I'm not condoning anything. I'm not saying to do anything. Be gay, do crimes. Not trying to condone anything illegal. However, yeah, they won't. And also, I don't know about other people's, but like ours literally just doesn't even have like an inventory system. I don't even understand how they operate because I've never been there that I purchased anything that they didn't just enter a code in. They don't scan anything, which seems insane to me because how the hell would you keep track of inventory? And I think that the answer is they don't. And I don't understand that at all. You know, they typically just enter like the price, and that doesn't make any sense to me. Alrighty. else do we need? A little bit of green, over there. Boop. And then I think I am probably going to take my break because it's that time. Yeah, that's good. Just a little bit of green in there. Well, that just went right to the bottom, but it's okay. We'll figure that out. Oh yeah, that would require an old school manual count. Yeah, and part of me thinks that maybe that's what they do, which is so dumb. But I could see that being the case because I can't stress enough after seeing how decisions are made for extremely expensive things, like monumentally expensive. I can say that it's just like, yep, the likelihood that someone making the decision to do that knows literally nothing about anything is pretty high. Pretty high. Damn it, I found the hole in my lip. That's a joke, I don't have one. I'm gonna go pee. I'll be right back. See you in just a few minutes. Hobby Lobby is but yeah, have not gone there in a very long time. I was asked not to return to my local one. I like that. That is fun. That's a good goal to have. I will be right back.
she comes, she's made of bronze and stone. And I'm just fur and teeth and blood and bitter angry bones.
All right, and we're back. They had some. Okay, my company was still running on a DOS-based system until just recently. We still use it for something. That's nuts. They had some books at the register I didn't agree with. Told my friend very loudly that I felt something along the lines of keeping in the break room with the rest of the Nazi propaganda. Yeah. Yep. Yeah. Fuck Hopus Lobus. I'm glad my new city has Michaels too. Yeah, Michaels is awesome. Followed me outside and asked me not to come back. Oh shit. Especially since Joanne's is dead. Yeah. We used to have a Joanne's. This is what I printed yesterday. Is a trebuchet. I've got to print one more part, actually two more parts, but trebuchet is used in some parts of 1490, and I've got a ballista and a cannon that I need to print. But yeah, resin printer is up and working. It looks like got it all dialed in. Hobby Lobby. Bah. Alrighty, so I'm gonna put some gloves on. That wasn't a bleh because of the coffee, it was a bleh because of Hobby Lobby. I want to make that clear. Cold coffee's great, I love it. It's not just a bit, it's my thing. What are they doing in 1490? So, especially since Joanne's dead, what are they doing in 1490? Trebuchet. So in 1490 Doom, they added siege weaponry. Like, well, I'm not sure. I don't remember if that was in the original playtest rules or not. But there are. Sweet. Was that your body bag you zipped up? Yeah, that's my spray booth. So over here is my spray booth. This is where I do all the stuff that has to be like contained because of fumes, and it's also where I've got my resin printers, which I can turn the angle and let you see it. Yeah, so we got kitties and we got cuties. And then down here is my wash station and my curing station, which curing station I modified because it constantly fucks up. They both constantly have things that they do that like is aggravating, that you have to like figure out workarounds. But that is where I do everything that has to be sealed for like fumes. And then, well, right there is a fan, an exhaust fan. Essentially, the exhaust fan goes out on the other side, and then there is a hose that runs to an even stronger inline fan that pulls all the fumes out and up through what used to be the the gas, like where my furnace and stuff used to connect to like pump out the heat or whatever the fumes out through the top of the chimney. That is no longer in service because we got a new HVAC a year or two ago. So I just had an empty pipe in my chimney and easy access to it right there. And it sure as hell beats having to drill a 4-inch hole into the side of my house again, because I've already done that. Done that more than I ever want to. One I had to do for like the bathroom remodel because my bathroom did not have a exhaust fan, which, as you can imagine, really sucked. And then the second time was when I put a hole to. I used to have my my hobby area over on that side, which is now the studio area. Which, yeah, over here, that's the studio kind of area. It's still in the process of being set up, but as soon as I have all the 1490 stuff, that is where all the gameplay will take place. And I've got it all rigged up for all of my lights and shit, and all of my cameras. So I've got all the stuff. It's just time. I just need time now at this point to finish everything, and then I can really start showcasing games like I really want to. And that's the overall idea of the Grimdark Distillery is over the years, so many people have asked, man, how do you do this? How do you do that? Oh, thank you. Thank you so much. Dude, that's so sweet. Legit, I mix up cold instant for work every night. Man, I'm not very picky about coffee, but there's some coffee that I'm just like, I can't have that. I don't really legitimately like cold coffee. I like it to be a little warm. Mm. And that is on the tail end of even remotely warm. But yeah, so what was I saying? Oh yeah, the distillery. The idea is over the years, so many people have asked me, hey, can you teach me how to do this thing? Can you teach me how to do that thing? Can you show me how to play this? And it's very hard because very similar, another one that people have asked is, hey, can you teach me how to play guitar? And it's just like, I don't think people understand when they ask that I didn't just like, oh, I can play guitar now. It's like it takes so many hours to do all of these things. So trying to break them down into, okay, we'll do it this day, it's just so much time on my plate and also on theirs. But the best way to do, like, hey, how do you make that? Why did you make that? Is just to show while I do it, because it's my favorite thing to do. I love to do it. And if people want to see how to do it, watching me do it is the easiest way, because there's just so much that like I don't even think about that I do because I've been doing it for so long. So trying to have the hobby hang in the morning. Just drinking all the cold coffee. Also, that might have looked like I wasn't just drinking coffee there for a second. Sorry about that. Anywho, but yeah, so the idea is if I can show all the steps that I do while I do it and have it in a place where anyone who, has questions can ask questions. And eventually I'll, go back and I'll edit stuff and make videos, but I want to wait until I have at least something to show, which 1490 is the first something that I'm going to show. Because it is my favorite game that if someone wants to try tabletop gaming for the first time, it's what I recommend, simply because of how easy to pick up it is. Like, I'm very confident that someone who has never played a game before, I could sit down with them and in an hour we could have played a game and they would have had a fun time and want to play again, with no knowledge. And it's just very, very good. There's definitely things, that you could add this, you could add that, but as far as just a core, easy to pick up game, it's definitely probably my go-to. It's the Merkborg of tabletop gaming for me. Merkborg is like, if someone wants to start playing a role-playing game, I'm like, we're gonna play Merkborg. It's very rules light and grisly as hell, punishing, and it gets you kind of used to the whole. Nothing is I don't know. I love having a character. I go both ways, where it's just like I like having characters that's like, yep, they're going to be around for so long, but I also like having characters that's just like, yeah, their story might end in like 30 minutes, and that's okay, because the world that they are in is awful, and unforgiving. Anywho, but yeah, as soon as I get the terrain and stuff done and these models painted, I'm going to start showing game footage of 1490. Like, Fall of Rothenburg is the first campaign, and it is entirely able to be played solo. So I want to show that. I know a lot of people have wanted to see solo gameplay, and I've tried to do that with Merkborg, but it is just so much harder having only two-dimensional. Nice. Welcome back, Mowgli. Back in the New York groove. Back in the New York groove, baby. But yeah, having a physical game where I can show things will definitely make it easier for me to play alone, and not need to feed off of other people, like with the storytelling. So I'm really excited to. We are so fucking close. Like, I just have to finish the terrain and then finish this stuff. But before then, I'm probably going to paint once I get the terrain done, I'm going to just paint Sam's and Kelly's and my Doom company so we can actually start playing 1490 just as it is and stream that. And then I'm going to be finishing up all the stuff I need for Fall of Rothenburg so we can do a playthrough of that entire story, which I really like that it's made almost like a choose your own adventure, that there's different parts in the story that you have to choose what you want to do. Like, oh, do you want to try to spare this guy and see if he'll join you? Or do you want to kill him and go from there? And depending on what you do, it changes which mission you play next. But one of the other things that I thought about that I really, and I think I might have talked about this yesterday, it's hard to keep track of all the things. I yap so much, but figured while I'm mixing up green stuff, epoxy green, I put a lot more epoxy in there. It's kind of very lightly green colored gray, but that's all good. I don't need it to be too dark. We're not doing insane amounts of detail, just eyelids and gums. So, anywho, yeah, all the terrain that I've printed would also work for Mordheim. It would work for Forbidden Psalm, and I have a 4x4 mud board already done. It would work for Trench Crusade. There's just so much stuff that I already have that from there it's just like, okay, we can play this game, we can show this game. Now, if I just build, one or two more things, I can introduce a whole nother game, and I can keep making content that I actually want to make and that I think people would actually enjoy watching. And not from a matter of pandering. And that's the big thing, is like all the channels that I've personally am aware of, it seems that they hit a point where they don't know what to do next, and it's just like, I cannot stress enough, this is my favorite thing in the world, and it's what I'm constantly thinking about. I will never run out of ideas. I will die, and so much of my stuff will be undone because I just don't have enough time. I have thousands of hours worth of ideas that I want to make, and I really want to share with everybody. But it's just a matter of trying to figure out where to do what and when to do what. And that is one of the things that I realized with my former job of having to see the forest and know the name of every tree. If I apply that to something that I love, I could actually probably do that and be very, hopefully, successful in making something that people actually would like to spend their time watching. And whether it's just a little bit of escapism, because I think that word is often misunderstood, because we've been doing that since time began, trying to find something to do with our time to kind of recoup, and that's so important. People need an outlet, and that's really just the thing. I wanted to make sure that I can show people what I love, and I can also be something to help people kind of get through their day, because I've struggled with that, and I know too many people that have struggled with that, and I want to do something with my time that I think can legitimately impact people in a positive way and help them, because we all only have so much time, and wasting time doing something that is awful and then not having an escape is just not good. And I was in that for too long, and I know too many other people are too, so I feel like I should do everything I can. And this is, I think, the best way for me to do that is by doing what I love and being here every day for people to, have someone that gives a shit about them. Not because they're watching what I do, but just because, hey, we're all in it together. That is my rant. That's my sales pitch. Doesn't sound like a sales pitch, but that's why I'm really excited about, I prefer YouTube over program television. I'm back in the New York group. Hope you get big enough that you can make this your job. I'm hoping so. I am hoping so. I don't. I've worked very hard to try and make sure that I do not need much. The amount of like people supporting me on like the fourth wall to where like I could not have to worry about paying bills and stuff is very low compared to I think most people trying to do this kind of stuff. And that's because I spent a long time really working on making sure that I did not have a bunch of things holding me down pretty much. Just getting all of my shit in order. I tried to play the game. I tried to do what they say that you're supposed to do with life and to be happy. And it's just like, okay, well, I've done that. So I'm like, outside of like making sure I can pay for insurance so I can go to the doctor and stuff, that's pretty much it. Like, we don't live an extravagant life. This is, again, what I love. So it's just like, yeah, I'm hoping. I'm hoping so. But thank you. I prefer YouTube over program television. I absolutely agree. I don't honestly watch much television outside of like when I watch a show with Kelly. But I gotta say, outside of things that I've watched before, I don't. Yeah, that's pretty much it. Like things that have been around for forever is typically what I watch on TV. Very few things are new that I'm like, I want to watch that. Watcher is one of my favorite things, and they're on YouTube as well. And honestly, that kind of concept is very similar to what I wanted to do. I really wanted to make something that if people wanted to support me, it's like, cool. Essentially like a Patreon, but just like $5. You can help me keep doing this and make it to where it can stay free for everybody on YouTube, because I know everybody does not have the funds to support it if they want, and I don't want to keep them from being able to. So it's just more of a hoping the people that can will, and I will do what I can. And I know that I can support myself like by doing commissions and stuff like that, but every time that I'm doing a commission, that means that I'm not using that time to try and further the goal of the distillery, but it does pay the bills. So it's just that kind of it's a balance, and I'm still completely working it out because I pretty much just said, this is what I want to do, and I'm going to do it. And yeah, just kind of went from there. But thank you. And again, thank you all for your time. It is knowing that you find worth out of this it means the world. I devalued myself for too long, trying to get in a right headspace. It just feels like the happier that I feel, the more I feel like I can help others by showing them, hey, this is what I do, and it makes me happy. And people typically like that, especially if they don't feel like you're just trying to sell them something. And that's why, just like I don't want to often talk about the whole, oh yeah, you can support me here, because I don't want that to seem even remotely like I just want money. That's not it at all. It's just more of I have to have some kind of support to keep doing this, so I can keep it to where everyone has access, because that's important to me. I don't ever want to paywall anybody. And obviously, with like backing it, it's just like, yeah, I can make it to where, any kind of video that I actually have to like sit down and make, they would get like, earlier access to that, and probably input on, hey, what do we work on next? What do you guys want to see? That kind of stuff. I just have to get there first. And I was kind of waiting until 1490 Doom was done. That way I can showcase this is what I'm trying to bring to the table. Because while the morning hobby hang is absolutely wonderful, and I don't plan on it ever going anywhere. If I do have to get a job, it might change the time because I will have to go work. But it just is what it is. Poke, poke, poke. that's tangent. For one, it's more personable. Watch a couple shows with my boys, The Walking Dead, The Boys. Yeah, that's about it. I have Amazon, Netflix, barely watch them. I need to drop one or the other. Same, I get that. I get that. Finding ways to cut down on what you don't actually need is always beneficial, and I try to do that myself. I try. I go through periods of time where I'm like, I'm done with that. Time to move on to something else. But also, that's not to say that, you know, if I get enough support, I won't be doing commissions anymore. That's not the case at all. I know people have asked me to do commissions and stuff for years, but if anything, I would like to be able to lower the price of them, even though it's already just like time is just the most expensive thing. But I would definitely, I like the idea of if I can get to where I don't have to worry about the bills, doing like a week of commissions, maybe even streaming, maybe not. It just depends, because that's the thing with streaming while I'm working on something. It definitely takes more time because I gotta adjust the cameras, I gotta make sure that I'm talking and I'm doing my thing, and also just kind of I can't get too into it because when I do, I typically get quiet. So having to remember that I am live and I have to talk to people while I sculpt is a thing that I wouldn't want that to impact my commission work, especially. Which, while Grief is a commission, it's not like technically a commission. It's more of a I'm going to make this thing and it's going to go on sale. And pretty much the moment I said that, someone was like, I want it. We will buy that. I think it's selfish on my part. The more you succeed, the more I get to watch. Oh, all jokes aside, I appreciate you giving me a place. I feel like I can be myself. Live bit on Grief. Oh, yeah. No, and thank you. That's it. Like, I think old school patronage. That's it. Like, I like the idea of like reclaiming that, of like actually, hey, I am a patron of this guy, of this, you know, an artist. And that's the thing is like for so long I devalued my self-worth that I did not like to refer to myself as an artist. I didn't like to think about that because of it just felt egotistical. And it's just like, at the end of the day, all I do is just make. It's what I love. Kelly, I didn't even think about this, but the other day we were sitting outside, and Kelly was just like, I'm only ever truly happy when I'm sculpting, because we were talking about clay being like, yeah, when you paint, it's so meticulous, and it's just like you must really love it. And it's like, oh, I fucking hate it. I just wish I was sculpting all the time. And then she was just like, oh my God, she was like, I'm only ever truly happy when I'm sculpting. And I was like, that sounds so familiar. It's what the mom on Beetlejuice says. She was like, I could start sculpting again. I'm only ever truly happy when I'm sculpting. And I was like, holy shit, you're right. I am the mom from Beetlejuice. Old Juicy Bug. Yeah, these eyelids are getting sick. Yeah, I did not mean to make that a long sales pitch. It's more of just explaining what I'm doing and why I'm doing it and that. But yeah, I love the idea of having the people that actually enjoy what I do have a say in it and get something out of it other than, wasting a way to, kill their time. I don't want that to ever feel like that's what someone's doing when they watch my stuff. It's just not, and obviously it is good sometimes to just like turn your brain off and like just sit, but I really want to create a space where people feel like they can be themselves. Like that's it. Like tabletop gaming has let me meet some of the most important like people that have impacted me as an artist and as a person, and become friends with them and gain a real sense of self-worth. And if I can talk about anything like that and it helps someone get through their day or that kind of a thing, I think that is exponentially more important than what I used to be doing, which often resulted in just me throwing away years worth of time of my life, um, which is just so frustrating on so many levels. But I can only move forward. We can only move forward. Releases grip from time's throat. Oh, that's it. Sometimes you gotta fight time. You gotta find the Time Lord. And you gotta stop it. Stop it from doing that time stuff. I heard what you said about time. Cut it out, Time Lord. Yeah, sorry about that little tangent. Didn't mean to go on a tangent. It was more. I'm just really excited because I don't ever want people to assume like, oh, Grim Dark Distillery, it's just the morning hobby. That's not. That is the supposed to just be the way to, you know, hang out with everybody that is interested and be like an actual conversation. Uh, yeah. But I think you definitely do get something from watching someone do what they love. After finding numerous people that you can tell that they enjoy what they do, it feels good to watch as opposed to someone that is doing something specifically because they think they are supposed to or they have to. It makes you feel involved, personable. It's personable. Um, and again, I find explaining why I do what I do and talking about the heavy shit, because it pops in there, especially with my weird work. Um, it helps me. Talking about shit helps. And yeah, I think it's something that in our very often insular hobby needs to be addressed more. And I would like to be part of that change. Community. I'm very happy I have a community of people that appreciate my work and each other and themselves. Makes me feel good about at least something. I don't mean to get too heavy and emotional. Sorry, guys. Sappy. I'm sappy. Oh, stop. I'm blushing. Hobby hangs are the shit. Everyone needs to find their local crew. That's it. Like, I just think having a community is just, it's so important. And for a lot of people, they don't have access to that based on, one reason or the other. It's just like, well, if you've got the internet, I want there to be a place that you can come hang out with us. Uh, that's it. That's the story, and I'm sticking to it. .36. It's going to be close. We might actually be able to finish this thing today, though. But I'm not going to make any promises. No promises. blushing, but it's just menopause. I'm at that age. The age of menopause. Man, if it's just getting hot all the time, I think I've been there for years. I have a very hard time regulating my body heat. I go from being very cold to I'm so hot I'm gonna die. My body is a temple and it's strange. My body is a temple. How much you think I could get for it? Well, front bottoms there for you. Like a furnace. Yeah. JJ is walking testosterone head constantly. Just like, oh man. That looks good. Gonna have to go in at a different angle here. Pull that eyelid this way. Yep. A little bit of a blur there. Get that nice and mixed in together. That's looking good. Those little eyeballs down inside that crevice. Trying to make sure I keep this in focus. I need to put a bigger screen over here. I am. Hell yeah. I get it. I get it. Sometimes it's just hot and you're like, man, I'm so hot. Blech. Blech. Must be the menopause. I get it. I get it. Push it up in there. Push, push, push. That's good. No eyeball. Green stuff for your eyeballs. Yes. So last Saturday was my B-day. I turned 52. My 11-year-old was calling me old. I told him I may be laid back, but I leaned forward real quick. Guess what that meant? I told him, don't push my buttons. That's good. I like that. Don't push my buttons. Maybe laid back. I can lean forward real quick. I like that. Like a snake. Just constantly ready to strike. Yes. Let's hold on to the base like that. That seems like a good choice. And we'll push. Push. Push! Let's take Bikini Bottom and move it somewhere else. Patrick, that idea is just crazy enough to get us all killed. Oh, SpongeBob. I was going to say, why'd you set me on fire? But I got to get out of the loop where I'm just going to keep quoting SpongeBob all day. There's nothing wrong with that, but I'm sure it can get tiring if you are not an absolute avid lover of the sponge. The SpongeBob. The Sponge Moon. The Sponge Moon cometh. I need to revisit all the things that Dark made and work on designs. I've been waiting to see Johnny's logo that he's been working on, but he's been very busy, so have not gotten it yet. but could always make a red wet shirt. It's got one of those really fun propaganda posters on it. I want to build a labyrinth. That one, man, that got me. You won't have to pay for it. It's not a private labyrinth. The labyrinth of the people. The monkey! He's a real Weisenheimer. It's good. The monkey. The monkey's fist. The monkey's bed. The monkey! Man, I got to a part in Sekiro where I'm just fighting monkeys now. Just like, man, life can be rough, but at least I don't have this problem in real life. I don't think I have the patience to fight monkeys. They're aggravating. I don't think I talked about that last night. I think I ranted out. I was like, yeah, I'm not a big fan of primates. And it's because they are very much in the uncanny valley for me. They do too many things that's just like too human. And I'm just like, I just feel sad. It just makes me sad. And then also I don't trust them because they are very, very aware of what they're doing. Have you considered using fourth wall as a way to pay over time for commissions? I don't know how exactly you would have to do it or keep track of it. I have heard you talking about prices earlier. Yeah, no, that would definitely be something that I could look into. I don't know how that would work, but that would be a thing that I think would probably be good. Because absolutely, like I know that's a thing that would be really helpful for a lot of people. Ideally though, if in the event that enough people were signed up on the fourth wall to where I did not have to worry about paying my bills, like I would like to do like almost like raffles of commissions, like, hey, I'm going to work on this thing, and then like raffle it off amongst the people that are like subscribed or members, or yeah, just do commissions, and yeah, either or. There's just a lot of options there. Yeah, that's it. That was my random thinking. But no, I definitely should look into that. I will look into that and see how we can go from there. Also, events. That's a big thing. Is I really want to be able to like set up events at different either conventions and whatnot, and then like also individual like self done events, almost like Under the Dice, that kind of started very small and then got big. Jumbo's Fun Time Weekend Blast, something like that. Classic Jumbo. Alrighty, teeth. We're doing it. 9:45, 15. I don't think in 15 I can finish it. Maybe a little bit longer. So maybe we'll go a little bit longer today, depending on if I think I can finish this thing. Come on, that's not helping. Get in there. Get stuck in. Get stuck in, boys. It's time to go crumping. Love Works. Love Works. Not a big fan of Dags. The correlation there would be Cockney. I also, speaking of Cockney and speaking of the movie Snatch, I really like that one of the guys, I think it's Saul. I think Saul is the voice of Lord Shax from Destiny, which, man, I was all about the Iron Banner during like Destiny 1. I lived in the Iron Banner. played way too much Destiny whenever Destiny 1 was out. Way too much. Alrighty, let's see. Where else needs some green stuffing? Probably on that bone into the wood to make it kind of fused. Yeah. I'll zoom in. Yeah, and I know that like, oh, there's so many things that I've got on the morning hobbying that I've done that I could turn into a video, but that kind of stuff is not in my wheelhouse, video editing and whatnot. I can do it, but it would take so much more time. And I figure once I get something done to present would be the best time to then start working on that. That way I'm able to hyper focus my way through the stuff that like I can do quicker. And then once I have a little breathing room, learn how to do those things. That's the plan, at least. There is absolutely a plan to do that. I just have to make sure I prioritize my time right. Planning. We're going to zoom out just a smidgen. There we go. Rip, my warlock lord. Warlocks. I like a good warlock. You don't make heroes out of warlocks. It's one of my favorite quotes from the movie Jesus Camp. There's a kid that really likes Harry Potter, and that's the stance they take. Which is a stance. Personally, I think warlocks are pretty cool. I'm kind of like a warlock myself. Summon demons. I just use clay. Voice actor for the warlock leader passed. I can't remember his name. Sorry. Oh man. Oh yeah. Sorry, my brain kind of stopped, and I was like, warlocks. I was thinking about World of Warcraft. I don't know why I thought about that. I was talking about Destiny, but now I remember warlocks were a class. Man, yeah, I played a lot of Titan. I played too much Titan, so much Titan that you could like go look at stats at one point in time, and I was in the top 1% in the world for most kills with the Titan's charge attack. It was an obscene amount, but I really liked rushing people and punching them. Too much Destiny. A lot of punches. Try not to play as many fidget games these days. But that's just because I have so much other stuff I need to do. But sometimes I do absolutely need to just recover. What flavor of Titan? Oh, definitely. Shit, what's the one that had the ground pound? Is that Attacker? Or no? I want to say Defender was one, but I don't remember. I don't remember the I typically like to play characters that have a very high risk, high reward. So lots of running into your face. Uh, Bloodborne is my favorite game, so like I really like a kind of gameplay that just like very aggressive, um, which is why hot damn Sekiro's very very good. Which also, after talking about how I got so used to hearing "One moment, my lord, this will only take a second." Heard that so many times, so I finally fought Genichiro on Sekiro. Got him in on my second try. I was like, man, hell yeah! I thought this was going to take 50 plus tries. I guess I just got good. I like tech plays. Arc, yes, Arc. That was it. I like the Arc Titan. I like tech plays. Tech plays are cool too. I love a good techie class. An engineer. I often was a very big fan of playing an engineer class. I think that probably was born from my love of Dead Space. I loved the super rad everyman character that Isaac Clarke is. Very, very well done. So much so that I was like, I think I'm going to become an engineer. And then I did that. And I was like, I don't think I want to be an engineer anymore. Okay, we're going to put a good amount of green in there. So we got to fill that hole. And I made a whole lot of green stuff. And then I dropped it into a different hole. What the hell? Get in there. Get in the hole. Bum, bum, bum. Bum, 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 bum. I miss Evolve. I never played Evolve. Is that Arc? Was it that the game Arc? Arc Evolve? I never played it. I know a lot of people who did, but MMOs are a dangerous thing for me. I think for a lot of people, but I know they are for me. So I try to stay away from them. Unless I'm really pulled in. Just because I know I can spend years of my life in them. Every now and then, I'm just like, I really just want to play an MMO. And I have to be like, no, hold back. You got a lot of stuff you got to do, Eli. Hold back. There we go. Sorry, I am trying to stay zoomed in so you guys can see what I'm working on. But I'm also really trying to work fast so we can try to finish Grief today. Mm-hmm. A little bit of green on that tooth. It's 9:55. Well, we're not getting it done in 5 minutes, that's for sure. But if we go over a little bit, maybe we can get it almost done. Again, almost. Again. Aha! New angle unlocked. But it's not very good. It's not a very good angle. There we go. That's good. Yeah. Hell yeah. Alrighty. That tooth's good. That eye's good. That eye's good. That eye's good. That tooth's good. That skull part back there needs a little bit of cover. I can put some green around those eyes real quick. Yeah. Okay. Gonna need to get some more Nivea on this thing before I start messing up what I've already done, because this is just sticking to the knife now. Get in the hole. Okay. Aha. The old rotating trick where you move the model instead of trying to fit into a crazy little crevice. Works almost every time. When it doesn't, that's just when I cry about it. Yeah, these eyes are looking gnarly. Nevaeh, where are you? Nevaeh. A be doo 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 doo. Yeah. Man, I don't think we're gonna be able to finish this today. I don't know. It's hard. It's hard to tell. There's just so many small things that every now and then I'll see and I'll be like, oh, that I need to fix that. It'll probably be easier to figure out what I need to do if I stick with, oh, one of these little monster things at a time, but it'll look good and then I move on to the next spot. But I do see a spot over there that needs some green. And I need to finish this. So there we go. Hey, what do you know? A little bit of Nivea went a long way. But yeah, to answer the question earlier, as far as not ever making miniatures and trying to start, yeah, Milliput will definitely go a long way. And I mean, practice is everything. The more you do it, the more you will see that you're getting better at it. Time. All things take time. Yeah, we want a little bit more green stuff there. Probably that amount. Push that down. A little bit more on that spot. That looks good. Thank you. No problem. Yeah, no problem at all. Yeah. Always happy to see someone trying something new. especially if it's something that I love. Definitely helps me relax. Just making little awful monsters. Or not monsters. Sometimes you want to make something not spooky. I just often want to make something spooky. You motivated me. Well, good. I'm glad to hear it. Yeah, no, it's very fun. Very fun trying new things, and I like that. I like the way that that's starting to look. Was Evolve that game that was 1v4 where one player plays the big monster that evolves to the match? Yes. I am not thinking of the right game then. I was thinking of Ark Evolved, which was the one where I think you ride dinosaurs. Evolve, though, I remember Evolve now. The concept is awesome. I remember a lot of people were really mad, though, because they made you pay for like every monster. Or like more than the first one. And I know that the community had a real big stink about that, which I totally get. Which, again, I think it all just depends on the company and who makes it, as to how that stuff's often received. Like the Star Wars Rebels thing, where they were just like, "How come you guys are like all excited to give $40 to FromSoft for the new Elden Ring DLC, but you won't give it to us for Jabba the Hutt?" And it's just like, if you don't understand that, I don't understand how to explain it to you. It's one is like an entire game, and the other is like a character that doesn't really add anything and should have been included. I love FromSoft. Yay, FromSoft. This tooth needs some skin. Ark Survival, yeah, but so does DBD. Ark Dead by Daylight, yeah. That I've not played. A whole lot of my friends did, though. They were really big into Dead by Daylight for a hot minute. I love those kinds of games, and I also hate them because it's just like they require you to have people to play with that either A, are just fun to play with, or B, are fun and good at a game, because otherwise it can be very frustrating when you're like, oh man, we would have won, except so-and-so was just a guy on the internet and he wanted to cost us the game because he thought it'd be funny. Which happens. That's just the whole thing of playing online. Ark Survival Cycles are literally hours to tame a dinosaur if you're playing with base settings just to get rated. DVD has a community problem. From what I've seen, if you play as the killer, well, people get mad at you. That's wild. Like, isn't that... I don't know. Like, I don't know. I feel like that's part of the fun is like... I don't know. I enjoy that. It's just more of a... I would think people playing as the survivors and then like screwing each other over would be the biggest problem, not the person that the objective for them is to try and chase you. Weird. That's the whole game. Why would you want it to be easy? Then it would just feel like you were just logging in to win. I don't know. I like to feel like I've done something to get my win. Which is why I'm an utter masochist and I just love FromSoft. Overcoming challenges is a thing I enjoy. My weird dopamine brain. Or lack thereof. Okay. Yeah, I don't know if I'm going to be able to finish this today. There's just so many little spots that I'm seeing now that need to be filled. I'm going to work a little bit longer just to make a little more progress. Did not expect this to take as much time, but I also did a whole bunch of adding little ideas and textures the other day that were not initially on grief while we've been working on just grief. But I do think that these are important. Also, I don't know how else we would have had him, because I do not want him to be standing on like a rock, trying to avoid the combat rock look. So that's the rock that he brings into every battle to stand on and look cool. I definitely don't want to have that vibe. Definitely want it to seem like it was more of a, he's just walking and these things are sprouting from where he steps. But it's a fine line, trying to thread that. It really seems like the killer does things that make it easier for them. It's taken as bad etiquette. That's weird. In grief, having attacked a rock would be very funny. Oh, I feel like that's kind of what these are. It's kind of like sentient tactical rocks that come alive. But also, yeah, that I feel like would be part of a grief joke, is like grief would come out with a rock and like that's a grief joke. Just like, aha, clink. Ah, ah. You guys like tactical rocks, right? The people love the tactical rock. They want more of it. There we go, blending that rib into there. Alrighty, I gotta think about what I'm gonna do when I get off of here. I'm going to work on terrain. I gotta finish weathering. I think I can get a good amount of that done today. The castle, I'm very excited how it turned out. So I need to try to keep that vibe with the rest of the stuff. So the end of the spray booth I go, it seems. As they say. We're gonna make a little hole around that one. For this little tendril to come out. so we're probably going to wrap up here in just a second. I do want to finish this little weird mouth going out of the tentacle first. The other day, you closed stream right as my phone died. I shut my phone off. I did it. I was like, bam! Nice. I wish I had the power. Just turn off people's phones. Like, no more phones. You know I hate phones. When I worked in telecom, the amount of people that just assume, like when they find out that you work at a phone company, they're just like, man, can you help me with this? And I was like, I cannot stress enough. I don't know a damn thing about different phones. I don't know so much about how to use my own phone. It's just like, I know how to make them work, like on a very large scale, like RF. That's it. You would think that that would go hand in hand. It does not at all. One is way more like, oh, understanding user interfaces and that kind of stuff. And the other is just understanding engineering, kind of. Planning. Space magic. That really is the best way to describe it. Space magician. There we go. All right. That's what I just finished. This little mouth right here. Little thing is coming out like next to the eyeball. Yeah, lots of little eyeballs. Little eyelids. Trying to figure out the best angle. I am not good with mirrors. Man, I don't fuck with mirrors. You guys know that. Yeah, I'm pretty happy with how that looks. I think you can only watch me. Bam! Love it. No, I'm very happy with that. I think one more day. I think one more day of sculpting and filling stuff in, and we'll be able to call grief done. So Monday we will finish this. Tuesday I should be able to start painting it. I think that sounds like a good plan, and I think that's a reasonable plan. I don't foresee it taking longer than that. I've got a lot of good progress done today, and I absolutely could work on it more off stream if you guys want me to just go ahead and get to the painting part. But I think people wanted to see the whole thing, and also it definitely helps me understand how much time it takes. A good reference, because then I will know, as opposed to just trying to keep track of it, which, oh boy, I don't do that too well. Okay, evening that out before it dries. There we go. Yeah, I really like all these little eyes and all the teeth and the gums. It's looking great. All right, Monday. Grief, live, and spoopy. All right, it is that time, I think. Thank you guys so much for your time. I say it every time. I'll say it again. It's your most valuable resource. And the fact that you want to spend it with me seriously means the world to me. If you would like to support me in any way, financially, please check out the Fourth Wall, the link there, and I will put some updated shirts on there very soon. But thank you so much. Be good to yourselves and to each other. Thank you, Mowgli. Thank you, Possum. Thank you, Fune. Thank you, Roz. JJ. I think that's everybody that was on today. Mowgli, Possum, Roz, Fune, JJ. I believe that is everybody. Yes. Yes. Okay. No, thank you guys so much. Be good to yourselves and each other. Sit pretty, and I will see you all on Monday. Bye, friends. Take care.